Hello, I'm Sheryl McCarthy of the City University of New York. Welcome to One-to-One. Let's face it, city employees tend to get a bum rap. We envy them their excellent benefits, but when we read about them, it's often about those who have abused their positions. And we've all had interactions with workers who are disinterested or rude. But there are plenty of city workers who excel at their jobs. For 38 years, the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation has supported the annual Sloan Public Service Awards, which honor New York City's outstanding public servants. This year, 6 of them were chosen for their commitment, hard work, and creativity. And I'm delighted to welcome one of them, Vilma Raquel Daza, Community Library Manager of the Corona branch of the Queensborough Public Library. It's one of the busiest public libraries in the country and an invaluable source for the borough's large immigrant population. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this program.
So I suspect a lot of our viewers, and including myself, don't know quite where Corona is. So describe Corona for me, where it is and what the demographics are of it.
Okay, Corona is a nice neighborhood, but it's vibrant with a lot of cultural things. They have different backgrounds, but the people is willing to learn, to cooperate, and to be part of this community and part of the society and be successful in the future.
You have a lot of overwhelming number of Latino residents, correct?
Yes, 75% people who came to the library came from Ecuador, from Mexico, and from Dominican Republic. Of course, we have a small percentage of Chinese or other.
And you came to Corona early on. That's where tell me about how you got to Corona.
Okay, to Corona, I came first as a children's librarian. I was there. I was working with it very hard, but it was not deciding, the people need more support, more help. Mm-hmm. So be a children's librarian only was not enough to do all those things.
But even before that, you came to Corona to live as an immigrant yourself from Peru,
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I came from Peru, Pilcomayo.
How old were you at the time?
At this time, I was 40 years old. I came with my little daughter,
okay.
Giselle,
okay.
to this country. But I was visiting different libraries to try to see what kind of resources I have in the community, because sometimes we don't have the person who's going to guide us what we are going to do in this country.
Did you speak English at the time?
A little, because I take some courses in a college and high school too, but not fluently.
So the library played a big part in your acculturation into New York City, correct?
Of course, yes. I appreciate that. Yeah, I came to one of the libraries of Queens were offered free English classes for immigrants. So I was enrolled in that. I was learning most of the things over there because my daughter is going to the school, so I need to support her. Later, I came as a volunteer over there after I learned something, a volunteer, and I started clerical staff in Stanwell Library, basically. Later, I moved to be my master's degree to do in the Pratt Institute, and I became a children's librarian.
So you got your master's degree in library science?
In library science and information.
Okay, and came back to the library.
Right, but as a children's librarian.
Okay, and you sort of worked your way up, right?
Yeah, later I applied for assistant manager in another branch. I have different experience, like in 20 branches in the Queens Library. And later I come back to Corona as a manager.
Being the community library manager, that means you're basically the head librarian.
Exactly.
You're in charge of the branch. Right. How big is your staff?
We have 9 staff members only. But I'm proud about them because we are a team, a solid team. We are working very hard because we have a common goal to serve the community. So this is the most important. So my team have a lot of credits on those things.
And how many people do you serve in the course of a, I don't know, week, a month?
One of the things they say 18,000 a month, so it's a lot. And this is a small branch. I was explaining, that's why we are doing different schedules to serve the community because we don't have enough space to serve us. In the morning, sometimes when the library is not open for the public, we offer different programs for the parents, baby and me. We have toddler program. We have a story time for the little kids and baby time too. So we dedicate this morning from 8 o'clock in the morning until sometimes 12 o'clock when we open for the regular public. And later in the afternoon is packets with the school age because we are helping with the homework. We try to accommodate people in the library, and we are welcome everyone.
Of those 18,000 a month, would the majority of them be children, or would the majority be adults, or is it sort of an even mix?
Children.
Majority would be children.
Yes.
I have heard that the Queens Public Library, I'm talking about and it's how many branches, 65 altogether?
Yes, that's what this project to be.
And the Queens Library is separate from the library systems in Manhattan, Bronx, Staten Island, Brooklyn. I have heard that the Queens Public Library is one of the most heavily trafficked in the country. Why? And when I work in Flushing, and sometimes I go by that branch, and I see it's just packed. Why such heavy traffic, do you think?
We are so attractive. We are innovate programs. We try to help people, to guide people. And we have this very nice campaign. Queens Library is for everyone. So we don't have any kind of discrimination over there, not about sexual orientation, race, religion, or political things. We try to serve all the people. And they know they can find a lot of things, like English classes, computer classes, not only for kids, for adults too, and different activities.
Right. Oh, and I was just about to ask you about that because, you know, when I was growing up, this is in Alabama, we went to the library primarily to check out books, maybe to do some research for our homework. Maybe some kids went there to use the encyclopedias if they didn't have a set at home. But libraries have a lot more going on these days, correct?
This changed a lot. It's specific. I'm going to talk about Corona. Corona Library is a community center. What is this meaning? The meaning is not only we provide the books where you say, we provide information, we provide the programs, the resources. We have a good relationship with the community or different organizations, like the Queens Museum. We can provide art class for adults, for kids in our library. The same thing, we have people who want to do mathematics class for kids and adults.
And you would have those classes there at the library?
And we have Spanish classes. Too. We have different kind of things. We have the HSE, the high school equivalent too. We prepare a lot of people.
I see.
And we have a lot of workshops. It's going to benefit them about health, you know, especially cancer, diabetes, or other things, what they prepare to those parents, how to deal with those kind of things, with these issues, and how to help to the family.
There are also different ways of getting information than when, you know, you or I were using the library. For instance, does anybody use encyclopedias, the books anymore, or is it all online?
No, believe me or not, specific in Corona, the people are still using the print books and the encyclopedias. It's a lot of demands.
Okay.
Okay. This is one of. We have a few of them, we are using online resources.
But they're still using the encyclopedias. Right. Do you have a lot of people who don't have computers at home who come to use computers at the library?
Oh, yes, we have 25 labs laptops we provide to the students, of course, with the kind of requirements. But besides of that, we have the computers. We have like 8 for kids, and we have 8 for adults, beside the 20 laptops. And we provide now the hotspot too, so they can use the Wi-Fi at home.
Okay, I see.
Right. So we provide all those resources. So I invite to the people, come to the library. We have a lot of resources. You want to help them.
Do you have any computer classes for people who aren't computer proficient, who can come and learn how to use the computer at the library?
Yeah, we have different levels. In English, in Spanish, and Chinese, we have different levels of computer classes. So we provide all those things for adults and for kids.
Can people check out movies, or DVDs? Is that something that you provide, and are they able to watch them at the library? Do they take them home, or both?
Yeah, they can check out, and we are doing kind of programs in the library too, with the specific movies or DVDs or educational CDs or videos. So we are working with that too. So now, besides of that, we provide newspapers, magazines, in sports, and the good life, cards. We have.
Wow, you can still find newspapers and magazines in libraries.
Right. And we have newspapers not only in one language, we have in Spanish, and Chinese, and English, of course, and other things. Whatever we are working is according to what the community needs.
Your English language classes, who teaches them? And I have heard that there is often a waiting list for people to get into English language classes. Who teaches the classes?
They have a teacher, a special teacher who are teaching that.
But not on the library staff.
No. We provide the place.
Right.
But we have the ESOL program, English Second Other Language program. So we provide us too, in different levels, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And besides of that, we have conversation group. We need to practice to talk. Sometimes we have a lot of grammar, but when the reality came, we can face the reality. So we have all those things to help.
I gather there's a big demand for English language classes.
Wow. Specific Corona, let me tell my last experience was after the snow day. Is lying up around the library, more than 200 people from 6 o'clock in the morning.
Just to get in to do different things, or?
Just to be registered for the English classes.
For the English classes.
So, and we open at 10 o'clock. So you can imagine how many hours they're waiting with this weather condition and waiting. And, I have a big impression when I was a pregnant woman waiting in the line. When I said, but what are you doing? It's too early. You stand up too many hours. And she said to me, the snow is not going to stop me to learn English. So this is here, because we have just 30 spots. And the 200 people is the meaning 117.
30 spots per class. And how long will the class run for?
6 months.
6 months, that's a long time.
6 months, 5 months to 6 months. But it's very good for them, because this is one way they have to take advantage to be successful in the life, not only for them.
It's very important to be able to speak the language.
Right.
We're going to take a short break, then we'll be back with more with Vilma Raquel Daza, Community Library Manager of the Corona branch of the Queens Borough Public Library, after this message. Welcome back to One to One. I'm Sheryl McCarthy of the City University of New York, and I'm talking with Vilma Raquel Daza, Community Library Manager of the Corona branch of the Queens Borough Public Library. I was on the library website looking at, all kinds of programs that are offered. One of the programs was assistance for job seekers. Is that something that they can get at your branch, or?
Yes, we have like twice a week one person who's coming to help people to do the resume, to look for job on the internet, to help with the interview, to prepare them everything. So we have this person, and it's very well attended, this problem too.
How about services for immigrants in particular?
Of course, we have this sort of seminar, so we have the workshops, and we have the citizenship classes too.
So what kinds of things are covered in those workshops and classes?
We guide them, you know, all the resources where they can get it as immigrants, but doesn't matter the status, but they can go to looking for jobs, to do different administrative things, and to take advantage of kind programs of the city and try to live better.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said because you have a limited space, you do some things outside. What kinds of outdoor activities do you have?
Especially in the summertime. You know, we try to take advantage of the parks, the Corona Plaza in this case. We are doing kind of activities like arts and crafts, we are doing story time, we are doing Zumba, we are doing...
Oh, Zumba.
Yeah, it's not only educational thing, recreational thing, especially for summer, because a lot of kids and Corona, they don't have vacation. So vacation has to be in the parks, in the plaza, or at Corona Library. Mm-hmm. So now, we have to invent and reinvent things where we can, they participate.
Now, when I was growing up, my library always had a summer book club. Now, if you read so many books over the summer, you get, I don't know if you got a certificate or a gold star or whatever. Do they have that these days?
Yes, we have. We have the special summer reading programs. We have the same thing, but sometimes the community provide a little more things. You know, they know this program is a big successful in Corona, and we have more than 5,000 kids who are participating in summer reading. So they provide, you know, different prizes.
What kinds of prizes do they get? They get books, I hope.
No, not really. Some of the restaurants, they provide, you know, it's like lunch for two or for family.
Okay.
You know, to encourage them. The museum, Queens Museum, they provide tickets to us, you know, to visit them. The Science Hall, the same thing. The Tennis Federation, they provide tickets, you know, to. So all those things from the community, they cooperate to us, and some kind private organization too, to give a kind award to them too.
Now, I know that library hours, and this has been true of all New York City public libraries for years that I can remember, hours have varied from year to year depending on the funding. You know, some years they'll have more library hours, some years they'll cut back. How do you feel about the hours that you're able to offer now?
Really, the funds is a principal thing to running, is vital thing for us, but we understand sometimes the budgeting is not in our hands. But, you know, the political leaders, they have to think more. The library is vital for the community. It's essential in the different aspects. If we are looking for the nice future, we have to work now. But besides of that, I appreciate the collaboration of different organizations like Repson.
Repson Foundation, right.
The Repson Foundation, we got an award, and they provide some money for the library. So we are able to buy more books, more materials to do different projects, like science projects for kids and all those things. And people who know how hard we are working and we are dedicated, they donate a lot of things to us.
Mm-hmm. Now, are the New York City public libraries, are they primarily funded by the City of New York?
Exactly.
Okay. The Queens Public Library is coming out of a public scandal. The previous president of the library system, Thomas Galante, was revealed to have been spending lavish sums I think he built a private smoking deck outside near his office, expensive dinners and drinks with friends, and he was earning a salary of almost $400,000, while probably typical library workers who actually do the work of providing services were earning much less. With some difficulty, he was replaced, and former City Schools Chancellor Dennis Walcott is the current president of the library system. How have the scandal and the turnover affected? Have they had any kind of impact on your branch, and how are you doing post Galante?
Basically, we don't have impact in Corona Library. Why we don't have impact? Because most of the staff over there, we're working because we like our work. We are doing what we like, and we want to serve the community. And we have passion for what we are doing. Okay, so we don't have time to probably to think on those things or be on those kind of situations, and we didn't pay attention to that because we are doing different things in the library to help people. So really doesn't affect too much.
So do you see new initiatives being instigated by the new administration?
Sure. Now, the new administration bring more support and help to the libraries, based in the needs and concerns of the community, which one is so important, and we can work better for that.
I mentioned that the Corona branch won a Sloan Public Service Award this year. Did you get money for that, and what will it be used for?
Yes, I'm proud about that, but what I say, I'm not working by myself, I work with my team. But I'm so happy because a lot of things, a lot of ideas, we put it in a action. So our passion, we convert.
Do you have a lot of volunteers?
Yes. Yes, we have. And thanks for them too. So,
do you know how many volunteers you have altogether, and what kinds of things do they do?
They learn to do everything to support with the programs, to share books, and to accommodate the rooms for different programs, and to help us to promote more the resources of the library and programs.
What's the most satisfying aspect of your job?
Serve to the people who are struggling, the new immigrants, to guide them. You know, I'm a person, I have a mind and heart. I think everyone, we can help each other to be better people and to get better work in the future.
Can you think of any specific interactions with any individual people that have brought you a great amount of satisfaction?
Yes, be successful, like to see that how the people are successful after. I work with a lot of kids as a children librarian. Now they are professional, a lot of them. So that is kind of satisfaction to me. Is some parents, they say they were struggled with the language, with the schools, whatever things, but now they are independent. They have their own business. This is my satisfaction. The successful of the people is my satisfaction.
And they come back and talk to you?
Right. I didn't, of course, yes. That's why we have a lot of volunteers, because they come back as volunteers.
What do you need?
And they provide some, money sometimes.
What do you need? What would you like to do that you haven't been able to do so far?
I want to continue it, I hope, healthy. And I have a lot of projects for the future. Now, I'm concerned more about the needs of the people. I am deep on these things, I know. So those projects is going to be built better community. We are going to have Corona as a best place to visit, to work, to study, to be part of the Corona, you know, and have different kind of love, peace, all those kind of things.
But as you said, it's interesting, as you said, the library is really a kind of community center.
Exactly.
And a help center.
We don't just provide information or educational thing. We try to help with the lawyers, with the difference, with the food stamps, with the health insurance, all those kinds of things we are doing at Corona, with the city ID, those kind of things we are
Well,
doing.
obviously, the Sloan Foundation thinks you're doing a great job because they gave you an award. And congratulations on that.
I'm happy for that. I hope everyone can get the award and we can do together better things.
We're out of time. I want to thank Vilma Raquel Daza for joining us. You can find more information about the Sloan Awards by going to the website of the Fund for the City of New York, fcny.org/core/Sloan. And if you want to know all about the programs that are provided by the Queens Library System, you can go to its website at queenslibrary.org. For the City University of New York and One to One, I'm Sheryl McCarthy. If there are any people you'd like to hear from or topics you'd like us to explore, please let us know. You can write to me at CUNY TV, 365 Fifth Avenue, New York, 10016, or you can go to the website at cuny.tv and click on Contact Us. I look forward to hearing from you.